Have you ever looked at your bills lately and just wondered what is going on? Your rent goes up, your power bill is higher, even the parts for your next computer seem way more expensive. Well, what if I told you there's a single, kind of surprising thread connecting a lot of these price hikes? And it's artificial intelligence. Let's dig into how AI is quietly making everything more expensive. All right, let's just start with a number. $3,300. That's the average rent for an apartment in San Francisco. It's a staggering figure, for sure. But what in the world does it have to do with AI? Now, how about this one? A 267% spike in electricity costs. I mean, that's a real number some American neighborhoods have actually seen. Again, you gotta ask, what's the connection? And this? 3 times. That's how much the price for the RAM in your laptop has gone up. See, these numbers aren't random. They're all symptoms of a much bigger and much more expensive problem. So this really is the core question, isn't it? How can a piece of software humming away in some server room literally change the price of the dirt under your feet? The answer is all about the explosive growth of AI and its massive, and I mean massive, physical needs in the real world. So first up, we have to talk about what we're calling the great resource drain. We've got to understand AI's physical footprint because it has this insatiable appetite for land, power, and water. And that's creating scarcity that directly hits your wallet. You know, we all talk about the cloud, but models like ChatGPT don't actually live in the sky. They live inside these enormous physical buildings called data centers. And here's the problem. These facilities need the exact same kind of land that's perfect for building homes. You know, flat, near power lines, access to fiber optics. And this slide really lays out the unfair fight that's going on for that land. A housing developer has to jump through all these hoops, getting financing, permits, dealing with the community. But a tech giant like Amazon or Google, they just show up with a truckload of cash, pay 50 to 70% over the market value, and they couldn't care less about the local school district. If you're the landowner, who are you going to sell to? It's a no-brainer. And this is not some theoretical problem. Just look at Loudoun County, Virginia. People literally call it Data Center Alley now. These data centers take huge swaths of land out of the housing supply, and then the influx of high-paid tech workers drives up the prices on whatever is left. The local middle class, they're getting priced right out of their own town. Okay, so that covers land. Now let's talk about power. And this chart really says it all. An old-school server rack might draw about 10 kilowatts, but a modern AI rack, we're talking over 100 kilowatts. That is a staggering 10-fold increase in power density. Now, you have to remember, our electrical grid is old. It was designed for a predictable daily cycle. You know, lights on at night, AC in the summer. It was not built for thousands of machines running at full tilt, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with no breaks. This constant immense demand is eating away at the grid's safety margins. So who pays to keep the grid from collapsing? Well, the grid operators are spending billions on these things called capacity payments, just to keep backup power plants on standby. But that multi-billion-dollar cost, it isn't paid by the tech companies. Nope. It's passed directly to you and me, showing up as an extra 16 to 18 bucks on our monthly utility bills. The problem gets even more bizarre and tangible. Tech giants are pre-ordering essential grid hardware, like electrical transformers, by the thousands. This has created a global shortage. So now we're seeing these ghost neighborhoods, brand new, fully built houses, just sitting empty for years. All because the developers literally can't get the one piece of hardware they need to turn the lights on. So let's just pause and recap this. You, personally, are now in direct competition with a server farm for land, for power, for industrial hardware, and even for water. A single one of these data centers can drink up 300,000 gallons of water every single day for cooling. Just think about what that means for places already struggling with drought. Okay, so that's the physical world, but the problem also extends into the digital world. It's not just about consuming resources anymore. AI software is now actively and invisibly manipulating the prices you pay every day. Your rent, it's probably not being set by a human looking at the local market anymore. It's being set by an algorithm. And this AI has learned a cold, hard mathematical truth. It's often more profitable to have a few empty apartments at a higher price than it is to have a full building at a lower one. Now, when all the major landlords in a city use the exact same software, it basically creates an artificial price floor for rent citywide. And this logic, this idea of optimizing profit no matter what, it isn't just for housing. It's coming for everything you buy. We're heading into a world where a fixed price tag is becoming a thing of the past. So these AI models, they analyze your entire digital footprint, what kind of device you're on, your location, your browsing history, all to calculate your willingness to pay. Then it shows you the absolute maximum price it thinks you'll accept, which might be completely different from the price it shows to the person sitting right next to you. And get ready, because this is coming to the physical world too. Retailers are installing these electronic shelf labels that let them change prices instantly. It's basically Uber's surge pricing, but for your milk and bread. An AI can track foot traffic and raise the price of pasta sauce by 30 cents on a busy Tuesday evening and do it automatically. Okay, so let's bring all of this down to the most personal level, the cost of technology itself and the fundamental value of your home. The final bill is arriving. So chip makers are shifting all their production over to these incredibly profitable, specialized chips that AI data centers need. That means the supply of the consumer-grade stuff, like the RAM and SSDs for our computers, gets squeezed. The result is something called tech stagflation. Your next laptop or phone will cost you more, but it won't be a major leap in performance. You're paying more for less. But this might be the most chilling cost of all, and it's tied to your home. Insurance companies are now using AI to analyze satellite imagery, scanning millions of properties at once to assess risk, all without ever sending a single person to take a look. And this AI doesn't give you a warning. It can spot a single weathered shingle on your roof or a tree branch that's a little too close to your chimney and just cancel your policy. No insurance means no mortgage, and no mortgage means your home, the most important asset for most families, effectively loses its value overnight. So let's just connect all the dots one last time. The rent you pay is being optimized for an algorithm's profit. Your power bill is helping subsidize the infrastructure for a data center. Your groceries are about to get surge pricing, and the very value of your home can be wiped out by a satellite scan. This is the new price tag of AI. The systems of the future are already here, and right now it feels like the bill is landing squarely on us, which really leaves us with a critical and pretty unsettling question to think about. Just how much more can the system actually take before something fundamentally breaks?